Hello Stamper, welcome to Frenchie's video. I'm Franz Martin, independent demonstrator with Stampin'Up, and today we're going to play a little bit with the water crystal. It's a pigment crystal. If you've been familiar with the brush show, it's something very similar to the brush show. So this is the one from Stampin'Up here, and I'm going to have all the link on my blog. You get 6 different colors. So you get the Mango Melody, Granny Green Apple, the Heather. Is that the Heather or the Gorgeous Grapes? It's one of them. I'm sorry, I should have marked them. And then we get the Melon Mumbo we're going to be using, the Daffodil Delight. Also, we get the Bermuda Bay. And you know what? It says right on the bottle, it is the Gorgeous Grapes. Here we go. Now we have it. So, I done this one here in advance because it takes a while to dry, and for many technique I love to let it dry naturally. So at time I'm going to say use the heat tool, but this been dry naturally. So this is what, and we're going to do some stamping on that. So I got a piece of watercolor paper here, and I'm going to finish a card with this, and then the one we're making, and you're going to see the finished project on my blog. I'm using a spritzer here. I know it's a HO2, but it's H2O. We're going to spritz that, but first I'm going to get my crystal ready. You see, it's just like a little shake container. Some people think it's come out too fast. I like it chunky and a lot. So if it's come too fast for you, you can put a washi tape or a scotch tape to cover 2 holes. It won't damage nothing. It's whatever you prefer. And this is the Melon Mumbo. So now I got my 2 little bottle ready. And this one we're going to marble that a little bit. So we're going to, whoops, make sure you go on your paper. I'm going to spritz this here. And you see, I don't know if you can see, I got like puddle of water. I'm going to add just a little bit here and there. And like I said, it go a long ways. And then I'm going to come and add a bit more. I'm not covering the entire paper. Now, for this technique, I could have used aqua painter and marble it. This time, I'm just going to use, again, my spritzer and let it do its work. Oh, I could add more paper here. 2 little things here. You see here, I get some crystal that I'm just going to pick it up. I got my inky rag here with my brush, and I'm going to remove that the one that didn't melt or whatever. I didn't have enough water. Now I'm going to take this and we're going to marbleize this here and go this way. Oh, here I can have a little bit there. And again, so you can play with it a little bit. Like I said, it's no right and wrong. And this, I'm just going to let it dry, and we're going to see what it's going to turn out, okay? And so we're going to pull that aside for now. And this one, you're going to have to come back to my blog and see how it's going to look when it's done. Let me remove this. Oops, oops. Here we go. Now, let's do the other one. So let me explain first all those little dots on it here. What I done after that it was dry, almost dry, I took my aqua painter and I just did little drop with my aqua painter. This one, it's almost dry. Here we go. So I just went and see. So if you come up higher, you're going to have big drop. If you want little drop, you're going to come and just touch it. And then you're going to have your little drop. Let me bring that closer. And that's going to change those colors. See, this one I had a big drop. It just like exploded. So then you're going to let it dry that way. This, you don't want to use the heat tool, because if you use the heat tool, it's just going to spider web. It's going to make a different look, and I've done that in the past. It is cool also. But if you want more the circle, drop, then do not use the heat tool, let it air dry. So after it's all dry, so I'm going to have that card, and I'm going to have 3 cards, put it that way on my blog. This one here, I used the greeny apple with the blue. Yes, it looked like some yellow, but it was part of the green there. Now what I'm going to do, this is watercolor paper, so it absorbed kind of the embossing powder. So I'm using my embossing buddy. Going to rub that there. And then I brought with me here the Rooted in Nature. And we're going to see, I was planning to use the big 3. Here we go. That's going to do. And I'm going to use my Versamark with that. Now I need a bigger block. And we're going to ink this here. And you want to make sure it's your Versamark, it's inked very well, because watercolor paper, it's rough a bit, so you want to make sure you get the color to absorb it. We're going to stamp that right here. And then we're going to take black powder. I think black on this is going to be very striking. Let me remove this. And tap, tap, tap. And we're going to come right away to a wall rose. And I'm going to use the Hello in this. So very simple card. For a note, or you can use birthday greeting, whatever greeting you want. I figure hello can be for many things that I'm going to need in the future. It can be for hello, I'm wishing you a happy birthday. Hello, I'm just here to say I'm thinking of you, and so on. And I'm going to put that right about here. And then again, we're going to use the embossing black powder. Okay, if you notice, I got just a little bit right here that I don't want there. So you take a brush then. And my hello, it's kind of mix and match there. I'm going to add again. Here we go. Now we're going to remove this, put that aside. I'm going to bring the heat tool. And you're going to see, and on watercolor paper, it takes a little bit longer to emboss. But you're going to see it start turning plasticky. That means that it's done. Let me just make sure it's all embossed, all melted. Here we go. You could always stamp with Stays On also after it's dry. That would work. It's just embossing, give deeper black and more pronounced. Put it that way. Voila. So now I'm just going to finish this card. Put that on a full card there. I'm going to have all measurement on my blog. So I'm going to finish this card. Really, it was to show you how to do this one. It's not dry. I don't want to run my little dots there, but you can see the color is changing. And then let me show you the other one here. See? And I don't want to go on that. I could add more red. That's the red. It's the what it's called. Let me remove this before I make a mess. If I want more red, you can always add more. So what the red, it's Melon Mambo I'm talking about. I can add a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there, and then I would spritz again, and you're gonna see, that don't see much here, right? Trust me, when it's all done, and I'm gonna stamp this one, I think I'm gonna stamp flower. It's going to look very different. So come to my blog. I'm going to remove those spots there that like the other one. Here we go. And I'm just going to let that dry. So come to my blog to see what I'm going to finish with that, the finished stamping. After it's dry, it's going to be all there. The link, it's right below or above in the eye, and I will have all measurement and all supplies that I use for all 3 cards. So bonus, 3 cards today. Till next time, happy stamping and have a lovely day, my friend. Bye-bye for now.